I sit across from the bank officer, my palms damp against the edge of his polished desk, watching his eyes avoid mine as he clears his throat. When the words leave his mouth, "Your aunt's student loan has been declined," they slice through the air like a blade. For a second, I forget how to breathe. My hands tremble and I grip them together under the table, forcing myself to stay steady. I nod, pretending I expected this, but inside something breaks, quietly, sharply. When I step back onto campus, the cafeteria noise swells around me, but it feels distant, warped. The laughter, the echo of trays slamming, the squeak of shoes, all of it blends into a dull, mocking roar. My cheeks burn hot, as if the entire room knows what just happened. As if everyone can smell the humiliation clinging to me. Across the hall, I catch sight of the scholarship committee gathered around a table. They exchange smug glances, tiny smirks, raised brows, the kind that say, "We won," "She lost." They don't say it out loud, but they don't need to. Their eyes do the talking. Their silence is louder than any insult. Auntie Margaret sits beside me, her posture crumpled in a way I've never seen before. She's always been composed, calm, the kind of woman who straightens her back even in storms. But now, she slumps into the plastic cafeteria chair, staring at the rejection letter like it's a personal verdict. So, humiliation settles on her shoulders like a weight she can't shrug off. From the next table, a voice cuts through the buzzing chatter, sharp, careless. A student leans toward his friend but speaks just loud enough for me to hear. "She'll never afford tuition. Let's see her try." His laughter follows, light and dismissive, and something inside me twists so violently I taste bitterness. The air smells faintly of burnt coffee and cheap pastries, but for me it smells like disrespect, like dismissal. Like doors slammed shut before we even approached them. My stomach knots, curling tighter with every second I stay in that room. In that moment, flashes of childhood memories hit me like camera bulbs, bright, quick, painful. I see Auntie standing firm against neighborhood bullies, against family members who belittled her dreams, against employers who overlooked her brilliance. Her resilience was always mocked, always tested. And yet she never bowed. Now those same expressions, those same sneers, appear on the faces of professors passing by. One of them gives a small, almost invisible smirk. Another raises an eyebrow as if this outcome was inevitable. Their doubt lingers in the air like a stain, seeping into every corner of my memory. I look at Auntie Margaret again, her fingers trembling, her eyes distant, and something inside me locks into place. My mind clamps around the injustice like a vice, tightening with every breath. They think this is the end of the story. They think they've measured us correctly, dismissed us accurately, judged us permanently. But they don't know how far we'll go. They don't know who they're underestimating. They don't see what's forming quietly underneath my grief. In the middle of the noise, the humiliation, the whispers, I feel it, the first flicker of a plan. A small flame sparking deep inside, fueled by anger, sharpened by resolve. It simmers low, steady, and dangerous. A promise more than a thought. And in that moment, I know this isn't where the story ends. This is where it begins. I've watched Auntie Margaret's life unfold like a story written in quiet defiance. A single woman from a modest town, she battled nepotism, favoritism, and elitism at every corner, her brilliance often ignored because she lacked the right connections. Faculty members, older and entitled, turned away from her ideas, dismissing her work in favor of students with names dripping in legacy and privilege. I remember the nights we spent in our cramped apartment kitchen, the hum of the refrigerator, the only soundtrack to our dreams. We counted pennies together, me peering over her shoulder as she scribbled plans on scraps of paper, imagining a future that seemed impossible. Mops. Family gatherings were never kind. Whispers and laughter followed her whenever she dared to speak of higher education, subtle jabs meant to remind her she didn't belong. I remember the sharp sting in her eyes as cousins and aunts chuckled, thinking it was just harmless teasing. But every laugh, every rolled eye, every condescending word lodged itself inside her like a hidden weight, unseen but deeply felt. She once lent her last savings to a friend she trusted implicitly. That friend walked away, leaving betrayal where loyalty should have been, a wound that still burns beneath the surface. And then came the first scholarship rejection, the note crafted politely, but every word dripping with disdain, like salt poured over an open wound. I remember the smell of old books in her apartment, the scratch of her pen across yellowed pages as she plotted her future despite every closed door. Her mind is meticulous, strategic, and patient. Every detail matters to her, every misstep observed and filed away. I remember the day she discovered her mentor had taken credit for her research, a betrayal that could have shattered anyone else, but instead forged a quiet, burning rage inside her. Strength and vulnerability coexist in her like fire and ice. It's the kind of rage that doesn't scream, it waits, calculates, and grows sharper with time. Beneath her gentle demeanor lies a financial savvy few suspect, a skill she's honed in silence while the world underestimates her. Even in our neighborhood, where whispers mocked her dreams and people sneered at her ambition, she never faltered. Every laugh, every scoff, every look of disbelief became fuel. I carry these memories now, feeling them pulse beneath my own skin, knowing that every slight and betrayal has prepared us for the reckoning to come. I watched the university announce their latest land acquisition, banners waving, champagne glasses clinking, and I feel a rush of contempt for their obliviousness. They celebrate as if they own the world, completely unaware that a storm is gathering, quiet, calculated, unstoppable. Meanwhile, Aunty Margaret sits at our kitchen table, fingers gliding over property records, tracing lines and boundaries like a chess master plotting moves 3 steps ahead. Her eyes flicker with intensity. Every number, every parcel, every restriction filed away in her mind like ammunition for the battle to come. I keep a meticulous record of every insult she has endured, the professors who doubted her brilliance, the students who sneered, the administrators who scoffed at her determination. Every slight is ammunition, every past humiliation a weapon waiting to be fired. Together, we dive into research, legal loopholes, financial avenues, opportunities no one suspects she could access. The thrill of discovery quickens our pulse. Each document we find feels like a secret key, unlocking a path toward inevitability. Tension coils around us, almost tangible. The university's arrogance hangs in the air like a heavy fog, suffocating and reckless. The smell of paper, the sharp tang of ink, the polished wood of the administration building, each sensory detail triggers a visceral reaction, a physical readiness for confrontation. We forge secret alliances, retired professors and financial advisors willing to offer guidance quietly, carefully, knowing the power we are amassing. Each small victory, a bank approval, a legal tip, a correctly timed meeting, pulses through me like adrenaline, making my heart hammer against my ribs. Sleepless nights stretch endlessly, the apartment cluttered with coffee cups, papers, and our plans. We huddle together over maps and contracts, our minds buzzing, plotting, anticipating every move they might make. When the university hosts their gala, a display of wealth and arrogance, I feel a thrill of anticipation. They laugh, oblivious, while our plan silently advances behind the scenes. Every step we've taken has positioned us to strike when they least expect it. Aunty Margaret's quiet smile returns, subtle and dangerous, the kind that promises upheaval. I watch her and realize the storm is almost ready to break, a reckoning shaped by patience, intelligence, and quiet fury. A heady mix of fear and anticipation courses through me, intoxicating in its intensity. I do. Every instinct tells me we are poised on the edge of a confrontation that will overturn humiliation, betrayal, and doubt. And in that moment, I understand we are unstoppable. The call comes long after midnight, when the apartment is silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and the scratch of Aunty Margaret's pen. I see her pause, her eyes narrowing as the retired professor's voice crackles through the phone. His tone is low, urgent, heavy with a truth he's held for years. He reveals corruption buried deep in the university's property dealings, misfiled permits, illegal easements, acquisitions pushed through with forged signatures. Each word feels like a match striking dry tinder. As soon as the call ends, the air shifts. Our strategy pivots instantly, no longer just reactive, but predatory. We now have leverage, legal, financial, moral. Their missteps become our weapons, their arrogance the fuel that keeps us advancing. Aunty Margaret sits back, absorbing every detail, her calm intensity almost chilling. Her eyes gleam with clarity, as if she's finally seeing the entire battlefield. There's no panic in her, only purpose sharpened by years of humiliation. Together, we dig deeper. In a dusty digital archive, we uncover key documents accidentally misfiled, contracts with missing signatures, expired rights, discrepancies no one bothered to fix. A hidden weakness, a crack in their armor. The kind of mistake powerful people make when they believe no one will ever challenge them. And now they're starting to sense something. University officials begin glancing our way more often, sending polite emails laced with suspicion, asking unnecessary questions. But they still underestimate us. They see her as the same woman they dismissed, quiet, unimportant, powerless. They have no idea how wrong they are. In the middle of this rising tension, she leans toward me one evening, her voice soft but deadly steady. They'll never see it coming. The words settle in my chest like an oath. She contacts a discreet financial advisor, the kind who operates behind soundproof doors and speaks in numbers rather than words. Together, they line up the purchase of the land, quietly, invisibly, without even the hint of our movement leaking out. Every paper is filed through third parties. Every signature is masked behind layers of legal sophistication. Meanwhile, the university's gala blazes on. I watch from across the street as guests twirl under golden chandeliers, wine glasses raised in ignorant celebration. Their laughter spills into the night while, at that very moment, we secure ownership of the land they prize most. The contrast is intoxicating their confidence and our silent takeover. For the first time, I feel the full rush of empowerment. Humiliation is no longer just pain, it's leverage, it's fuel. It's the foundation of our uprising. The turning point arrives days later at a community board meeting. The room is plain, fluorescent lights buzzing, paper agendas scattered on folding tables. But when Aunty Margaret stands and makes a subtle announcement about upcoming changes to land usage, a ripple moves through the room. Eyes turn. Whispers start. It's the first public hint of her control. A quiet declaration. A promise of what's coming. I'd describe the exact moment the university receives the official notice. Aunty Margaret has legally purchased the very land their main campus sits on, the same land they mocked her for even dreaming she could afford. Administrators freeze in disbelief, faces tightening as the reality settles like a storm they can't outrun. News spreads fast. Local and national outlets broadcast the story. Former student loan applicant becomes landowner of university grounds. They label her the underdog who turned rejection into leverage, and I can practically feel the ripple of embarrassment moving through the faculty offices. Professors who once belittled her now face public scrutiny. Old rumors of favoritism, mishandled grants, and shady academic politics resurface. The community is watching and judging. I recount attending the first university board meeting as a silent observer. The tension is thick. Board members flip through documents in panic, whispering to each other as if a single wrong sentence might tighten the noose. Every legal notice we send, every email confirming her authority over the land feels like another chess move, calculated, surgical, unstoppable. I describe Aunty Margaret walking across the property now legally in her name. University officials trail behind her like shadows, helpless, uncertain, stripped of their former arrogance. The public humiliation they feel now mirrors the private humiliation they forced on her years ago. It's poetic justice unfolding in real time. There's emotional catharsis in every breath we take. The condescension, the laughter, the dismissal, all of it dissolves in the blaze of her triumph. The community rallies behind her brilliance. Parents, students, activists, even alumni admire her resilience. The narrative flips entirely. She is no longer the woman begging for a loan. She is the owner they now answer to. Subtle revenge touches color every moment. Former doubters now depend on her cooperation to renew campus permits, expand buildings, or even keep parking lots operational. I describe the intoxicating mix of justice, vindication, and moral satisfaction that flows between us. A quiet, powerful triumph shaped by patience and strategy rather than rage. The days after the storm are quiet, almost surreal. I watch Aunty Margaret at her desk, reviewing blueprints and planning the next steps with calm dominance. Her authority is uncontested now. Every decision she makes carries weight that no one dares challenge. Former skeptics approach her slowly, eyes lowered, voices tentative. Apologies are offered, recognition grudging but genuine, as if the world is learning to see her clearly for the first time. I reflect on the journey we've endured, how patience, strategy, and resilience became our most powerful weapons. Wise, the victories are not loud. They are precise, deliberate, and lasting. The university itself is reshaped under her terms. Policies shift, fairness becomes the standard, inclusivity enforced, and arrogance no longer rewarded. She sets the tone, the rules, and the moral compass. I walk across the land she purchased, feeling grass soft underfoot and sunlight cutting through the trees. Every step is a reminder of what was reclaimed, not just land, but dignity, respect, and agency. The emotional weight of years of humiliation lifts from both of us. Where fear and doubt once lingered, confidence and quiet pride now take root. Intimate moments return, laughter over shared coffees, long discussions about future plans, the bond between us strengthened by shared struggle and triumph. Legal victories and financial control firmly in place, our focus shifts outward. We mentor younger students, offering guidance and opportunities that were once denied to her, turning past pain into communal empowerment. I feel the poetic symmetry of it all. Humiliation transformed into empowerment, betrayal converted into strategic advantage. The universe, in its own justice, has finally balanced the scales. At sunset, I pause to reflect. The horizon glows golden, the air still, and I exhale slowly, feeling the tension of years dissolve. The fight is over, but its lessons remain, etched into every corner of our lives. I capture Aunty Margaret's satisfaction, serene yet commanding. It is not vengeance alone that fuels her smile. It is the legacy she now shapes, a world she controls, and a future no one can undermine. I face the camera, the city skyline stretching behind us, bathed in the soft glow of golden hour. Long shadows stretch across the streets, mirroring the journey we've walked, the darkness we endured, the light we reclaimed. I recount the journey in a steady voice, letting each word carry weight. The mockery she endured, the hidden pain we both carried, the the strategic patience that held us steady, and the ultimate empowerment that reshaped everything. I emphasize the lesson, looking directly into the lens. Intelligence, timing, and composure can transform even the deepest humiliation into triumph. Every calculated step, every quiet victory, proves that patience is as powerful as anger, and strategy more lethal than impulse. Then I reveal Aunty Margaret's mantra, letting it hang in the air. When they say no, build a world where they can't say yes without you. Her words resonate, heavy with truth and experience, a compass for anyone who's ever been underestimated. I share the emotional journey, allowing viewers to feel the gravity of what we endured, from helplessness to authority, from rejection to control, every moment charged with tension, hope, and resolve. Cinematic moments unfold in the narrative. Her standing on the land she reclaimed, the wind catching strands of hair, a soft smile playing on her lips, a silent declaration of victory. It's subtle, yet unmistakable, a visual testament to justice served. I stress the universal truth: respect is earned, patience is a weapon, and justice often moves quietly, but absolutely. It doesn't always roar. It calculates, it waits, and then it strikes with precision. I end with reflective engagement, my tone steady but stirring. If you've ever been underestimated, remember, every setback is a setup for a comeback. I encourage viewers to like, subscribe, and share, framing this story not just as revenge, but as inspiration for those who've faced injustice and doubt. The camera slowly pulls back, fading out on the university's silhouette. Her property now thriving, the land she claimed a symbol of resilience and triumph. What? A lingering sense of closure settles over the scene, cinematic, complete, unforgettable.